Have you ever listened to a person talk for less than a minute and known you weren't going to get along with that person? What did they say? Yes, this guy hopped into our Discord group a few months back. He was a friend of a friend, but he didn't think to just add him to our server, not our group chat. We all hop into a call and first thing he does is make some remarks that are very politically sensitive, sends some graphic photos and made some inappropriate remarks. Didn't expect to meet someone and have him offend 6 people in the span of 10 minutes. You don't scare me. Wasn't trying to scare you in the slightest. Told me yeah, all women are bitches, you included. No offense. Within the first 2 minutes of knowing me. When a mutual friend introduces you and you go to greet them and they deny it and proudly exclaim I'm a hugger and then go in for an unwanted hug. WTF. I was in a job interview once and the manager cut me off mid-sentence to jump to a weird conclusion. Him, what do you think the performance of this algorithm would be? Me, oh, it'll be n times. Him, oh, you think it's going to be n? You think it'll be n? That's ridiculous, there's no way it would just be n. Me, you gotta let me finish speaking. He then cut me off mid-sentence twice more during our conversation. We didn't get along. Dude was a total tool. There are different levels to being a psychic. I'm on the purple level so I can talk to the dead. Said a new employee at my previous job. Nope. I know I'm not supposed to ask, but I need to know. It's not for work or anything. What religion are you? HR manager. New guy at work. First coffee break he started complaining about his ex who had full custody of the kids for some unknowable reason and also how he'd like to slash her throat with a rusty knife. Nice to meet you too, don't think I'll be taking breaks with you. They talk negatively about someone else in a very judgy way. There was this mom in my daughter's school who seemed to know everyone. She talked to me and she spoke so bad about these people. Then moments later I saw her interacting in a friendly way with those she was judging. My eyes rolled so much I could see my brain telling me not to get involved with her. And I was right, because by the time school year ends, her friends hated her and they were talking behind her back too. I started my PhD a few months ago and one of a common starter conversation with postgraduates you just meet is what is your thesis about? Well, I get asked the question first and after describing my dissertation theme, the other guy goes oh I see, well mine is actually important. With a very condescending tone. Well pal, fuck you too I guess. I was listening to the Nexivam podcast and the clip of the founder saying he has 225 IQ. If I walked into a room and heard someone say that I'd walk right back out. The quiet boy at school sat next to me and told me how hard he felt when he took a shit and how many times he ejaculated that way. I never sat next to him again. Some people might say I'm an asshole but I just tell it how it is. 99 chance they are an asshole that I don't want to be around. Was a customer at work, naturally I wouldn't be friends. But even in a setting where we could become friends it wasn't happening. I came up to her to see if she had any questions about our critters. I work in a pet shop and the very first thing she asked was if parakeets could talk because she wanted to teach them racial slurs. Biggest nope of my life. Meet your teacher day before my kiddo started kindergarten and this other parent literally bragged that her kid was completely illiterate, couldn't stand being read to, and she hated reading too. Had just started a job, and within a minute of meeting one of my new colleagues he waxes lyrical about how weak it is that one of our other colleagues uses an inhaler, oblivious to the fact I myself use an inhaler though my asthma is mild and well managed. Ironically, the shit-talking colleague in question had no discernible chin and looked very out of shape himself. The new neighbor who after introducing himself pointed to his chest and says, "Instant asshole just add beer, that's what the family says." Now we're not gonna be neighbor pals. Fuck you Irv, you were an asshole even without beer. Asked me do you mind if smoke? Then proceeded to take out a meth pipe. We had just moved into a new house. An older gentleman, he was 65 and I was 35 at the time, came across the street towards me and stuck out his hand. I shook it and he said, "We love new neighbors as long as they're white." I remember seeing someone for around 20 seconds. They didn't seem aware of my presence and they were already making fun of me because I simply walked by. They made fun of other people too, but the fact that they just met someone and immediately targeted them for harassment is a red flag bigger than most Poles can handle. She was complaining the 15-year-old kid who just fled from the war in Ukraine wasn't working hard enough at his dishwashing job. The kid doesn't want to be alone in a dishwashing kitchen all day, not able to speak to anyone. He should be in school at home with all his friends. Of course, he's not excited about the stupid dishes. The lack of compassion was astounding. And she was indeed a wretched person, so my initial impression was totally correct. He learned I'm a physicist, and immediately started talking about infinite energy. "You're late. I've been here for 10 minutes already." I was only 5 minutes late for the date because I was looking for parking and had let him know. Me at my first day on the job, on my lunch break. "Coworker, are you Chinese?" Me, "Yeah." Coworker, "I don't like Chinese food," walks away. Asked a guy what he does at a business networking event. "Well, I'm a chiropractor but looking to get out." "How come?" All these Me Too accusations. In another state I had 3 of them. Good thing none of them went to the bar. Edit, he probably said board instead of bar. As soon as he started complaining about Me Too accusations, I pretty much tuned him out. Started at a new job, went for a team dinner, and the very first thing he did was talk about how bad the dating scene was in the city and how ugly all the women are. Dating scene was absolutely fine, by the way. I pull out of the conversation and then he just continues to ramble on about how smart he is vs everyone else. Safe to say I've been avoiding him since. Met someone at the dog park. He got to talking about what we do for work. I screen resumes at my job and deny anyone with an overly complicated ethnic name. That's discriminatory and illegal. They'll never know. I was talking to a girl in college and she made some remark about, "Yeah, like when you test your boyfriend to make sure he loves you," and I remember thinking, "You seem so normal." I went to a teacher conference. My colleague introduced me to a lady from another school. We shook hands and exchanged names. Her first question was, "Are you married?" Which seemed forthright but not entirely uncommon. When I said yes, she asked if my wife is Chinese. I said yes again. Her response was, "Because of you, one Chinese man will be unable to find a wife." I'd love to say I had a clever comeback. Instead, I was stunned into silence. I met one of my new colleagues at a barbecue that was being hosted by our work. A man drove with another coworker, a woman and a friend of mine, so we arrived together. When I was alone for a moment, this guy, whom I've never spoken to before, comes up next to me and says, "Yo dude, you hit in that?" Gestures to my friend. I said no, and she also has a boyfriend. He very exaggeratedly says, "Damn. Yada yada." He got fired 2 years later for sexually harassing an intern. I'm going to fuck up your face. I hate that our boss is a chick. Bitches make the worst bosses. Lunch break of his first day on the job. They didn't know what World War II was, who Hitler was, or why Nazis were bad. She thought it was a slur for white person because she kept seeing it on the news and online. Let the NR do it, after my then manager self-informed a new hire of his next task, which apparently he found beneath him. Around the lunch table at work, a couple of the younger guys, straight out of high school young, are talking about a young female singer. New guy around my age says I'd take a rape charge for that. All-time favorite was this girl they had just hired who would answer any question by responding that she had a fiancé. Like, "Hi, my name is Bill, where are you from?" I have a fiancé, like any of us were going to bang her in the walk-in cooler if she